is this discovery from the insurance journalist, insurancejournal.com website, that climate change is now its own industry, a $1.5 trillion industry. And you might say, well, what's the industry? What's the business about it? One of the most, I don't know what you'd say, one of the areas of climate change that's got the most money circulating in it is consultancy. People that consult businesses and others on how to be compliant, on how to escape any kind of sanction or what have you. The entire climate change market has a consulting market. I'm reading here from the report, which a recent report by the journal estimates at $1.9 billion worldwide and almost $1 billion in the United States alone. And that because there is a huge consultancy aspect in climate change, it means that most of it is related to policymaking. And what that means is the whole thing is a trumped-up mechanism by which people can score dollars. It has nothing to do with actual science. It has nothing to do with what is actually happening. It is a trumped-up money-making scheme disguised as an environmental crisis. And there is big money to be had from the government if a business signs on and goes green. There are grants, there are waivers from tax policy, there are all kinds of favorable things that can happen to you if you get on board the whole idea of man-made global warming. In other words, government mandates and policies are what drive the entire climate change industry. Now, I would venture to say that the vast majority of rank-and-file everyday Americans believe that this is an issue because it is really an issue, and it's really dangerous, and it has really a lot of bad things that could happen. All this talk about rising sea levels, and all this talk about the dead polar bears, and all of this talk about violent extreme weather, and it's all just fodder to facilitate public support by which policy making is implemented and money can be allocated to it in the federal budget, from which then smart players can get their hands on some of it. But it's even more intricately woven web of deceit than even that. But really all you need to know, I mean, and then things descend from there, is that climate change is its own industry now. Its own business. It has its own cronyism, corporate government cronyism.